Chris Cuomo here. Welcome to NewsNation. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Just be one. That's Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, said it like some 2,000 years ago. The quote came to mind when I was watching the memorial service for Charlie Kirk. Not about him, about the rest of us. I know there are different opinions about this moment. There are cheers and jeers for the significance accorded to Charlie and his murder and memorial. But we must all agree we are living a major moment. And the only thing that matters is what we do with it. Now, we know the answer on social media, right? The answer writ large is use it to divide. Demonize not just the person who did this, who deserves it, but half the political spectrum, as if they planned it along with him. Or pretend it's the latest conspiracy. And this guy didn't do it. It's the government. It's Israel. It's aliens. It's whatever you will pay me to say. Framing this suspect. I heard Steve Bannon say the texts are fake. That's picking up steam. Why? Because negativity is a proxy for insight. And outrage sells. Rage-baiting sells. And then, on the other end of the silly spectrum, the yeah-butting, the murder by insisting Charlie believed things that should not be celebrated. Okay, but what does that have to do with the murder? We just keep digging the hole, hoping to strike internet gold. But watching the memorial along with millions of others, we got a much better answer of what to do with this moment from the one person who, in my opinion, has every right to hate the people talking about her husband, and certainly the man who took his life. But Erika Kirk made a choice that I wish would go more viral.
On the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Yes, Erika is exhibiting what her faith teaches about the love of mercy. And yes, many experts will tell you that if she can do that, and teach her kids to do that when they come of age, may be one of the best ways to stop the harm of this loss from continuing to infect their head and their heart. But I think part of the reason it wowed people is because of how different that approach is from what got us here. Of course, the quote's going viral. That's not what I meant. I meant the virtue, the choice. I wish that kind of choice would become popular, that it would replace the choice to spew venom. So few have done anything to make anything better since Charlie was murdered. Barely pay lip service to it compared to all the attacking. And we all know why. It's because it's easier and instantly rewarded on social media. Right after the crowd stood and applauded Erika, they got a very different message.
He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent. And I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erika. But now Erika can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right.
Some levity? Yeah. But there's something honest about it also, certainly about the president, but also about us. We choose to forgive or to hate, to rage bait or play to what is reasonable. These are choices. I screw them up all the time. And like the president, most in my business, most in our politics, choose to foment tension, to do silly man-on-the-street interviews with people spewing division, hot takes that twist and promote nothing positive, because it's easy, and it's a choice that is rewarded with attention and profit on social media. It is a choice to pretend that you're speaking truth to power when all you're doing is trying to trip an algorithm and get clicks so you can get paid. It's a choice to allow companies to amplify animus for their ad placements without any accountability. Just think about this. Fox News and Newsmax almost got sued out of existence for what? Knowingly spreading misinformation. That was the allegation, right? And yet, they are a dumpster fire compared to a nuclear mushroom cloud that is social media when it comes to intentionally amplifying misinformation. They know what they're doing, they've designed their system to do it, and they do it with impunity. The platform companies are making a choice, and they are now the richest because of it. And our discourse and our society are demonstrably impoverished by their efforts. And we are making a choice by allowing that to happen. And then Erika Kirk says she forgives the man who did the most horrible thing. And I thank her for reminding us what the right choice is. Now, many of you will wrongly and intentionally wrongly take what I just said and twist it and say, Cuomo endorsed Charlie Kirk. Did you hear what he... Not only are you wrong, this isn't about my feelings about Charlie's politics. They don't have any place in this discussion. You're just making my point. We suck, and it has to stop. The good news is this is not a new problem altogether. This is why the great religions were designed, specifically around combating our darkest desires. This is why the poet Alexander Pope famously wrote, "Good nature and good sense must ever join. To err is human, to forgive divine." Timing is also our friend. As you probably know, tonight marks the beginning of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. Now, for me, the most interesting part of this religious tradition is the part that gets the least attention. This is the beginning of their 10 days of awe. It's not unlike the 40 days of Lent that we Christians know. This is the hard part. This is where you realize what you've done wrong and what's been done wrong to you, and then you prepare to forgive. To forgive people for what they did, whether they acknowledge it or not, and to forgive yourself for what you have done, whether you can fix it or not. And it's a process because it's hard. Because the teaching is that God wants you to forgive, to love one another as He has loved you. That is the golden rule. We all know the same things, we just don't practice them. And we've made it easier not to. Until now. Right? Because there is nothing easy about where we are. That's why I so wish that our president had echoed what Erika Kirk said. I get that he was making a joke, okay? That's not my point. My point is there's an opportunity here. The president isn't wrong about how you get ahead in today's society. He's not wrong about what passes for strength and for advantage, and what is certainly rewarded on social media with impunity by companies who know they are amplifying our worst tendencies for profit. But all I control is what I do with my platform, and I got to tell you, that's proven to be more than enough. I do not know that I can make the difference that may be what I have to figure out to make all that comes with this job worthwhile. This is hard. It's mean. And if you're not careful, it can make you mean. And it can make you vengeful and aggressive, because that's all that comes at you. But hopefully, more and more of you are waking up to see this, and to see that all this misery is an opportunity to get to a better place, like our great religions teach us, like history has taught us, and like we all know is right deep down inside. There's a reason that Mama told you if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, not to censor you, but to give you good sense. That's one reason it's interesting to learn Jimmy Kimmel's back on tomorrow night. I told you I didn't think his removal was going to be permanent. But I'm surprised it was this quick, and I suspect that this transition is suggestive of what we will see tomorrow night. I think that this happening so fast sheds light on what they agreed on. I was a little surprised that Charlie Kirk's organization, Turning Point USA, now led by his wife, is against him coming back. I'm not sure how that squares with what his wife's message was at the memorial, but hopefully they'll be surprised too by how he uses his platform. Lord knows we could all use a laugh that's not just at somebody else's expense, let alone when that's supposed to be the purpose of your job. None of these guys are George Carlin. I know they all want to be, but they should just try to be funny, and you can tell the truth with humor. Let's see how he explains how he got here and what it means for all of us. Let's see if all the people who applauded Erika's eulogy, who stood and cheered, can practice what she applied to a much more difficult circumstance. Let's see if this moment can be more than just another step down the road to more division. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.